ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen who we pick for the game of the week, we also have certain picks for our player of the week, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start off because of all three of our players. I think mine is the least likely to get it, but he's been shining. He's definitely been helping Delilah's one of her fantasy football teams, right. Mr. Najee Harris, the Alabama product who is literally carrying the Pittsburgh Steelers offense on his back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this man had 24 carries for 81 rushing yards. And I know you're like, oh, well, wait a minute. He didn't even have over 100 rushing yards. Well, it's okay because he got 6 receptions for 46 receiving yards and a touchdown. This man is multi-talented. He's multifaceted. He can run. He can catch. He can block. I don't know if you've seen this man on blitz pickup. This man took. There was a clip where somebody came in and he about near took him in half. You know what I mean? Like, he is doing great things. I think that is such a huge pickup. We all kind of questioned it when they got it because we're like, was he going to go before that? Did they really need him? Him, ETN, what are they going to do? I know that Big Ben, among everybody else, is very happy.
Extremely happy that they have
because especially with Juju going out and especially with, Ebron really not doing anything, you have the rookies like Najee Harris and Pat Freiermuth who are definitely showing up, and they're getting a lot more attention than maybe they normally would.
Sure. Yeah.
Najee Harris is, look, monster. We've seen him and what he's done in college. And in the pros, he's 8th in rushing with 388 yards and just 2 rushing touchdowns. But I'm telling you, this man is just, he makes such a difference. And with him being in the backfield, it makes defenses not just tee off on what we all know is a aging Big Ben. Big Ben that's on his last legs. So when you have somebody like Najee Harris in the backfield, this man is showing up and showing out. And as long as they have him, I still don't think they go into the playoffs. But they might.
Hey, the kid last night said it. The kid last night said it.
Right. Shout out to my guy Dylan Walsh. Yep.
I know Sydney didn't agree, but I agree with the kid. I'm sorry, Sid. I'm sorry. Because I know that's your team. I get it. I know what it means to ride or die with a team.
That's
I
right.
understand.
You know all about it.
Yeah.
But let's just, in the back of your head, I know. I know you know the truth.
Admit it.
Big Ben is always happy. We're Wow. Here we go.
That's a
and
comment.
wait a minute. Wendy is still chiming in. When he did the discount double jack. Oh, Lord. All right, Wendy. Got to move on. And we're going to move on now to Nick. And Nick, your player was not on offense, Nick. Who did you pick?
I went defense this week because I don't think defense sometimes gets enough play, right? But in these sort of things, right? For player of the week, you're like, oh, it's offense. Right. But I'm going to go with one Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. Not only is Max a great story overall for, overcoming his alcohol and drug habit to, rehab, to coming in this year clean, and sober and really get himself together. He's having a monster of a year. This game alone, he 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 pass defended, and 12 pressures.
Wow.
And talk about dominating the one guy. There's other guys obviously on the line and blah, 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 blah. And, the much maligned Vegas Raiders defense, at times they play great. At times they're sloppy. They've kind of come in this year and it's been the same thing. But Max has definitely been a stabilizing factor on that defense. And I just thought it was time to kind of give him a little recognition here because all year he's been like this. He really has. They've had a couple of primetime games, and I swear you hear Max Crosby's name 6, 7 times.
All the time. Yep.
Because and just the guy is just phenomenal. He's playing his heart out there. He really is. Again, you got to respect the guy who can pick himself up off the ground, get himself into rehab, get himself cleaned up. And he's just come out this year and played spectacularly. So, I don't think there's too much else I could really say about Max Crosby. But I'm telling you, watch and again, my honorable mention. You talk about to J.J. Watt for that Pittsburgh game.
For sure.
That's like an honorable mention because you guys all saw
T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. I'm sorry, you guys all saw how that game ended.
Yeah,
right.
I think T.J. Watt should get like 80 game balls for that one. Saved your team, from losing.
Yeah,
single-handedly, my friend, 2 plays, and that was it. And honorable mention. Defense this week, we go, Max Crosby, but literally run underneath, man, T.J. Watt with that phenomenal play.
All right.
Saved the win for the Steelers. Can't beat it, my friend. That's good stuff.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. So, hey, moving on, Delilah. Delilah, you went with royalty this week. Who did you get, Delilah?
You went with royalty.
I went with King Henry. Okay.
Listen.
Okay. I honestly, I feel like obviously we keep hearing about, all the passers. We keep talking about Tom Brady. We keep talking about, but we're not giving this guy because unfortunately he'll never get, and it's too bad because he really should get MVP because, and I know it's hard for a rusher to get that title. Sometimes they'll do a Cole title. Maybe they'll do a Cole this time around. Who knows? I know they do that sometimes too. But in total, that man has 783 yards this season alone. And that's, we're not even,
not quite halfway there yet, are we?
Exactly. We're not even halfway through this. It's crazy.
Really,
back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons? What?
Man,
it's looking that way, ain't it?
He's projected to end the season with over 2,000 yards again. He is projected.
He's at 7-something right now?
Yeah, he has 783. He has 783. And as I also have Nick Chubb on my team, but unfortunately he's hurt, right? He's the number 2 receiver, rusher. Now to give the perspective, Nick Chubb has 523 yards, which is still a monster number.
Right, but he's got 200
for a difference of 260 yards.
Right.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing?
How many more total yards Derrick Henry has right now compared to number 2 Nick Chubb? 260 yards. That is the difference.
That's 2 games for most people.
Yeah,
right.
So he's in first place for rushing yards. He's in first place for touchdowns for a rusher because he already has 10. And he's in first. He has 10 already this season. Again, we're not even halfway through the season yet.
He's the offense in Tennessee,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Well, right.
So, right, and then for attempts, he's also in first place with 162, right? Rushing attempts.
Feed him the ball. Feed the beast. That's what you do.
So and we saw that, right? We saw where some obviously some defenses learned how to stop him, but he would still get around them, right? He was still strong arm because he's a beast. He's massive.
He's a beast.
So this last game, right? We know he carried the Titans to victory, right? He had 143 yards and he scored the 3 touchdowns of that game. Right? Mm-hmm. Henry exploded up the middle. We saw him for 76 yards for the first touchdown of that game. Right? And then again, basically when he saw that they were losing, he's like, I honestly think in the back of his head, he was like, forget it. And that's what he was like.
I got this.
And then he powered in with a pair of red zone rushing scores in the second half, right? And that was the, and we know, I agree, probably Buffalo could have done a little better, but still, that was it, right? He's like, 2 touchdowns. That's, it's like he really carried, that game. And Henry found the end zone 3 times for the second straight game, by the way. So it's not like, he had 3 touchdowns the last game. And that's what I'm saying. Like this guy is a beast, and he really deserves he really deserves better than like something. All right. And that's why I was saying I'm like either because we know that rushing backs have a limited, right? They have an expiration. They unfortunately because of their position, right? And we know that the more that they play, the less likely, that's why we have the Barry Sanders of the world, right? Because they're like, we can't do it anymore. So, hopefully he gets a chance to get that. He really needs to get a Super Bowl win. This would be a guy would be really sad that he's killing off this right. And he retires another running back like that without, geez. But anyway, so kudos to you, Key Henry. Keep eating. I know you're going to keep eating. And I do believe he's going to have another 2,000 yards for sure. Especially if he keeps playing like this.
Yeah, he stays healthy.
That's you, right? That's the key, isn't it? Isn't that the key? That's the key. Because this is also football, so you're like,
just ask Dad, he'll tell you.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, kudos to the king. Kudos to the king.
Okay, I like that. I definitely like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are our picks for player of the week. Maybe you had somebody different. Maybe you believe player of the week should just be a quarterback.